Shalom, family. It's good to see you all here. And I'm going to tell you about the flood in New Jersey. And I have some videos to show you. The thing is, I am noticing, y'all, a pattern. I'm noticing a pattern. It's almost like every time there's a storm, it is dumping like these incredible inches and flood out the place. I mean, we saw it in Texas. It's happened like multiple times so far. And it's like, what's going on? But something definitely has changed. Now, I don't know if it's all the tampering these folks do, because they do tamper with mess all the cloud, all the time. They do cloud seeding. We all seen the chemtrails up there. They mess around with things way too much. The weather don't need the help of Esau. The weather never needed Esau. It's been on the earth for millions of years and without Esau's help. I don't know why they think they got to have a hand in everything. They absolutely don't. But these rainfalls are unlike anything. It's almost like when a storm hits an area, it several inches of rain dump in less than an hour. And people are now have to be rescued, and that's what also happened in New Jersey. People had to be rescued. Now, so far, 2 people were lost, but, that can easily go up. Yeah, yeah, it's definitely I have noticed it, and like I said, I have noticed it this year. I don't care what it is, it seems like whenever a storm hits an area, it ends up flooded in less than an hour. So, definitely, it's crazy. Alright, I'm gonna show you a clip from NBC News, and then I'm gonna show you some clips that came from actual citizens. And it was New York, New Jersey, and New York hit the hardest. Now, this is New Jersey, but it hit more up in the north, close to New York. I live on the end close to, Pennsylvania. So, they were the ones that got it the worst, and, I mean, you'll even see the subway got flooded. I mean, it was crazy, and this happened in 1 hour. Even if you wanted to run, sometimes you just don't have that kinda time. Alright, let me share. But I think that's the way the Most High intends for it to be, where these storms occur and people really won't be able to escape the wrath of the storm, and you're also seeing that over and over. A lot of people, some people can get to safety, or they have to go to the second floor of their house because the first floor is flooded. But, the rescues have definitely ramped up this year. I certainly have noticed it. All right, y'all, let's get started. Okay.
We got rescue over here.
Tonight, throughout the Northeast, recovering from this. Yesterday evening, more than 2.5 inches of rain fell on New York City. Video shows water pouring into parts of the subway system. Passengers stunned.
That is seriously high.
And in nearby Plainfield, New Jersey, 2 people were killed when their car was swept away. Rescue crews unable to reach them in time. First responders managed to save Francis Elgert, who tells us he ignored the flood warnings and during his drive home found himself surrounded by floodwater.
Were you worried you were going to drown?
Now, some of you, if you old school, you heard of Parliament Funkadelic. All right. Have anybody in my chat heard of Parliament Funkadelic? George Clinton. This is where they live. They lived in Plainfield. This is around where they live. And right across from them is Scotch Plains, and Scotch Plains, they got flooded. But this is the area where, the group Parliament Funkadelic, this is where they lived. All right, let me go on.
A little bit. I started realizing I'm at risk here. There's water coming at me.
Not far away, Nancy Drews looked out her front window and saw this. Complete chaos. A container full of desks and supplies from the high school more than a mile away, crashing through her neighbor's brand new fence.
It was waves. It was like an ocean.
This isn't the first time her neighbor, Alexandra Esparza, has had to deal with flash flooding. It happened to her back in 2021 when the remnants of Hurricane Ida struck New Jersey.
I don't know what we're going to do because this is happening more often.
We, New Jersey, we, America, we, the globe, we're getting dragged by climate.
Statistics show that for the last 55 years, the vast majority of the country has seen summer rainstorms intensify. As temperatures rise, the air can hold more water vapor, making the storms worse than ever. At this animal shelter in Plainfield, employees swam through the flooded streets to save the dogs. The animal's okay, but the shelter devastated.
We're a nonprofit organization, so we don't have a lot of money to begin with. So this sets us back a lot.
Aaron joins us now live. Aaron, there's a mystery there behind you. A home exploded during these floods?
That's right, Tom. Officials say that house exploded. Firefighters were seen battling the flames in the middle of 2 feet of water. They say no one was home at the time, so no one was injured. Tom.
To this. Okay, why is this going so slow? Oh, I see why. Okay. Okay, these little strange things are happening to the screen, but that's okay. All right, so that is north. And not only George Clinton, but Bootsy Collins also used to live there. He was from that Plainfield area as well. All right, so I got another video, and a lot of these are from citizens that lived here, and some are news. It's like kind of a mixture. Let's see if I can share. Okay. Okay. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Yeah, they had an animal shelter that flooded. The water got all in there, and the animals, of course, they're in cages. They're stuck. It's not like they can go to safety, but they went back in there and got them all out. Okay, thank you.
Oh my God! Did you see that? The whole house came apart. No! Oh my God! Holy shit! Oh, it's gonna go. It's gonna go. It's going. Whoa.
I've lived here for 28 years, and I'm Floyd, Sandy, all of it, been through it. And this is the worst I've ever seen it.
The Northeast experienced widespread flooding yesterday. Governor Phil Murphy declaring a state of emergency for New Jersey. I'm currently out in North Plainfield, where you can see the scope of the damage for one home. Local law enforcement telling me that floodwaters happen here, but they haven't seen it to this magnitude since the remnants of Ida back in 2021. I spoke to this homeowner. She walked me through her house. You can hear the heartbreak and the pain after just repairing things a few years back, now having to face the same kind of devastation. Unfortunately, there have been 2 fatalities confirmed this morning, but hopefully that number doesn't change. We are continuing to evaluate the situation. There's been one home that unfortunately exploded due to a gas leak, a vehicle that was completely charred, and that's just goes to show the power of the floodwaters and what can happen, and why you should take flash flood emergencies and flash flood warnings so seriously.
Last night we got crushed, not just here in Berkeley Heights, but in this part of the state in particular. 6 inches of rain in under 2.5 hours in 2 waves. Importantly, one wave sort of knocked a lot of these communities a little bit off kilter, and the second one came in for the kill.
That was New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy just this hour after his state was slammed with flash flooding, and now at least 2 people have lost their lives. The Garden State seeing that flood overtake roads, strand motorists as they awaited water rescues. And take a look at this video captured by subway riders in New York. Murky waters inundating underground stations, pouring down staircases, floodwaters spouting up near a turnstile like a geyser. Rush hour commuters stuck inside, packed train cars with water gushing under their feet.
This is Park Avenue in Scotch Plains, and this is my photojournalist, Oscar, right here, and you can see there's an ambulance here, a bus, a Yankee bus that was stranded and is now moving.
Right now, we're just praying that it stops and doesn't get near that electrical box.
The water is literally running like a river on Park Avenue.
We're here in North Plainfield after last night's intense, powerful storms, and I want to show you just how much damage we're finding, and it is everywhere. We're here along Grove Street. There used to be a sidewalk here, but it was washed out by Monday's storms. In fact, take a look at this cell phone video so you can have a sense of just how intense this storm was, how fast moving, how rapid the water was. And I want you to pay extra close attention to that car upright at the height of last night's storm. Here in town, in the North Plainfield area, the damage is at virtually every turn. In fact, the school right across the street also has some damage done to it. In nearby Plainfield, the city says 2 people were killed after their car Monday night was swept away into a brook. Of course, the storms come on the heels of storms just a little over a week and a half ago. Those storms were also deadly. This region has been battered time and time again, especially in recent weeks. Cleanup continues, with officials saying the loss here is devastating. If you are in this area, let us know what the damage looks like near you as cleanup work once again gets underway.
Attention passengers, I'm gonna call this one in. I can't open the doors, it's not safe. Give me a second.
Guys, this is 90th and East End. This is no joke. Holy. Guys, this is.
There goes my car. See you later, friend. That sucks. Oh no. God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to show you these videos. That way you could actually hear the sound of the storm and the water. I mean, it really, they said it sounded like a freight train when all that rain was coming down. And I definitely believe that. I believe it. So thank you, Janet Johnson, for your sticker. 2025 has been some year. Yes, yes. And we haven't really into the hurricane season yet. And those hurricanes are going to be fierce. These are just storms. And look at what's happening. It's not even a hurricane. That's why I'm saying these storms are really acting very different. Usually, you'll have a storm, you'll have rain, but you don't have like buckets of it dumped on you all at once like we're seeing now. And these storms seem to be they seem to be becoming normal. Like whenever one is coming, you might have to leave because the flooding is going to be fierce. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the drains are not all that great. Even where I live, 2 times in my life I seen it flood on my street. But the good part was the water never made it into the house because the house is kind of elevated. So it made it part way up the lawn, but it never made it into the house. But I have seen my street flooded twice. Now, Andre, I see you have there, and the government is still going to eliminate FEMA. No defense, but FEMA really is not that big of a help. I think some people think it is, but see, I lived through Hurricane Sandy, and FEMA came in, and everybody complained because they hardly did nothing when they came in here. Now, Donald Trump is claiming that FEMA will still be there, but it will be different from what we see now, which I'm anticipating is going to be far worse. I doubt if Trump makes it better. He's going to make that organization far worse than it already is. But FEMA really don't do too much of nothing. You saw what happened during Hurricane Maria. They went over to Puerto Rico and they were selling them, not selling, but for food, they were giving them Skittles and Lunchables and potato chips, and they were like, "We don't eat like this," you know? And some of the people, a lot of them, in fact, on Puerto Rico, a lot of those folks are diabetic, so they can't eat that. But that's what FEMA passed out for a meal: Lunchables, Skittles, and some potato chips. That's the kinda garbage FEMA will come in and give you. Mhm. Yeah, and the people were like, "We're diabetic." A lot of diabetics are in Puerto Rico, they can't eat that, but that's what FEMA did, and FEMA, I think, stayed for, like, 2, 3 weeks, and they got up on out of there, and those folks were still suffering, still didn't have power, still didn't have running water, and FEMA got the hell up on out of there and left those folks like that. So, I don't know if you've ever experienced them, but they don't really do much of anything. Mhm. Yeah, that there was a house that exploded. It had a gas explosion during the storm. So one house did explode. Mhm. Yeah, well, and like I said, it sucks. FEMA sucks. It really does. I think, what Donald Trump said is gonna be reorganized, and we haven't seen nothing good come out of the Trump administration other than the immigration. I doubt if FEMA's gonna be what Donald Trump is saying is gonna be different. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, True Royal is gonna be recovering at home, and I'm glad that she's able to at least recuperate at home where she's more comfortable, because nobody can be comfortable in a hospital. I don't care what anybody say, you're never fully comfortable in a hospital. Donald Kimbrough, thank you for the super sticker. So, y'all, I just wanted y'all to get a glimpse of what it was like here in New Jersey. It was absolutely crazy. I saw everything locally, and they did show a lot of details and showed some aerial shots with drones of what it looked like. Man, it looks bad. A lot of the water has receded in some areas, and it just looks horrible. That one scene where the reporter showed you where the, sidewalk washed away? Yeah, I mean, you got to think about the kind of force that storm had to be to just lift up a sidewalk like that. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay, I'm safe. Thank you for asking. Alright, so, Monica Gregory, thank you for the super sticker and your support for my channel. Janet Johnson, thank you for your super chat. 2025 has been some year, yes, and it's almost scary to see what it's gonna be like at the end of the year. And Donald Kimbrough, thank you for your super sticker and a donation to my channel. Yeah, I mean, a lot of them. You're right. A lot of those homeowners, because insurance companies are dirty these days. You pay that premium every month, and they'll just get up and leave or flat out refuse to fix any of the homes because so many homes are damaged, they'll go bankrupt. That's why a lot of them will say they are not going to fix the homes, and people are really stuck holding the bag, and you're going to have to get the repairs done yourself. But home insurance is not what it used to be, y'all. At one point in time, they would just drop everything and try to help and do everything they can to restore things. Now, I mean, even last year during the hurricanes, they left those folks high and dry in Florida. They refused to fix those homes. that got flooded out. So, yeah, you may have insurance, but insurance is definitely not what it used to be. Mm-mm. Yeah. The sad part is we never know where these storms are going to hit. And this storm actually came in here from the Midwest. That's where this storm came in. And so this is not one that came off of the ocean. This is one that crossed over land and hit these areas. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, and that's the sad part is when it hit, it just dumped so fast, you really can't leave. Where are you gonna go when you got buckets of rain coming down like that? And they had it, that's why I wanted to play it for you because you could literally hear the wind and everything. And it was scary sounding. The sounds were just scary. Thank you, Elijah, for becoming a new channel member. Mhm. Yeah, the thunder, the lightning, the wind. It was almost like a mini hurricane. Mhm. Yeah, that one in Texas, I think even that one was worse than the one in New Jersey because I think they got 26 inches in 1 hour. Can you just picture that in your head? 26 inches of rain in just 1 hour. That is like a freak storm right there. Yeah, see, you folks in Texas, if you got a channel, that's a perfect one to show everybody because I think people just can't picture in their head that amount of rain. That is devastating. Mhm. Yeah, well, like I said, this is starting to be the norm. Michael Amos, thank you so much for your super sticker. All right, everybody, I'm going to go, but be on the lookout. I got another live stream coming of the people complaining about the gas prices and the food. So I'm going to show you that maybe like around 3 o'clock, 3:30 today. I just have to get everything set up. But thank you so much for being here. I pray that everybody is safe. And if you get a warning to get out of a certain area that you live in, please get out of there. Please just get out. You know, don't lose your life over these storms. If you can get out, get out. Seriously. Shalom, family.